Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Zelikha Annisa P from Class A, class of 2020, and my main number is 2000506501013. And today I will present about linguistic. Okay, linguistic. The word linguistic comes from the Latin lingua, which means language. According to Gurdjieff Laksana, the word linguistic is defined as the science of language or scientific investigation of language. The understanding of linguistics, according to Target, is a set of knowledge obtained by applying the scientific method to language phenomena. The linguistic sciences are as follows. The first, syntax. Syntax is the branch of linguistic that studies the rules that determine how words form phrases and phrases from sentence. Etymologically, the term syntax is putting together words into groups of words or sentence and group of words into sentence. There are two parts of a sentence that are very important to analyzing syntax, namely phrases and clauses. Phrases are a group of words that have a function as a unit in a sentence, a group of words that form a grammatical unit. Phrases are divided into several, namely noun phrases, verb phrases, adjective phrases, adverbial phrases. Second is clause. The clause is divided into two parts, namely the independent clause and the dependent clause. Independent clause. An independent clause is a clause that has a complex structure and has the potential to become a major sentence. The dependent clause. A bound clause is a clause that has an incomplete structure, usually accompanied by subordinating conjunction. The bound clause can also be defined as a clause that cannot stand alone as a perfect sentence, only has the potential to be an imperfect sentence. Next, second is morphology. Morphology is the study of language itself, such as studying the formation of words or morphemes and also variation in word morpheme combination in a language. Morphology itself is divided into two types, namely free and bound. Free morphemes. Free morphemes are morphemes that can stand alone into words without being attached to other morphemes. Free morphemes have several basic types, namely verbs, nouns, adjective, preposition, and others. Second, bound morphemes. Bound morphemes are morphemes that cannot stand alone, but they must be bound attached to another morpheme. And the third is phonology. Phonology is the branch of language that concerns with the systematic organization of sounds in language. The phonological function is first, to find out the sound change in a word. Second, learn about process of sound information or delivery or pronunciation. The third, or the last, is learn how the organs of the human body work, especially thus relate to with the use of language. Thank you. And next.
Sociolinguistics is an interdisciplinary science between sociology and linguistics. Khair and Agustina, 2010, explained that in order to understand sociolinguistics, it is necessary to first understand sociology and linguistics. Sociology is a science that studies human society, involving the process of human social interaction in society. Meanwhile, linguistics is a field of science that studies language. Thus, it can be concluded that sociolinguistics is an interdisciplinary field of science that studies language in relation to the use of the language in society. The first sociolinguistic conference, which took place at the University of California in the years on 1964 has formulated the existence of 7 dimensions on sociolinguistic research. The 7 dimensions are the social identity of speaker, then social identity of the listener, sociolinguistic assessment, sociolinguistic assess.
The term semantic is relatively new in origin, having just been coined in the 19th century from a great firm meaning to signify. Of course, this alone does mean that experts turn their attention to investigation of meaning and words less that ten of and word less than 100 years ago. On the other hand, grammarians have been interested in meaning since times until now. Or rather their synthetic function. The definition of semantic. The definition of semantic put forward by several sources are care status that the semantic discussion are the relationship between the word and the concept of meaning of the word, as well as object or things referred to by that meaning that are outside the language. Semantic element. Semantic elements 1. Things and codes of armies. Symbols. Things and symbols are two elements that are in language. 2. Lexical meaning and referential relation. The lexical element is the smelling unit and the meaning system of word. Linguistic and its existence can be the distinction from other smallest unit. 3. Naming. The term naming, defined by Kridalaksana as a process serve for language symbols to describe concept, process, and objects usual by making of the existing treasury among another with possible change in meaning or with creation of word on group of word. Thank you, terima kasih. Saya Muhammad Arfah. Kurang lebihnya mohon dimaafkan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.